Another thing that we're keeping an eye on is river levels across Southwest Virginia. And in the New River Valley, it is already posing risk to people living or traveling there.
10 News reporter Connor Dietrich is live at the Dedman Center in Radford, where the New River has been flooding all afternoon. We're seeing very high levels there, as you can see there behind Connor. So Connor, talk to us about the conditions.
Well, Rachel and Lindsay, since we last talked, which was just about a couple hours ago, the river levels have continued to increase, and I can show you that by just taking a look. We're a little bit further away from our field goal post than we were earlier today, but I was mentioning how it was probably about a foot up to the crossbar on these field goal posts, and now we can see that the river, or the overflow of the river, the flooding has now surpassed that crossbar. The water is going over it. Now, if Luke takes a pan over here to where I'm standing at in what's behind me, this is a parking lot. And I had mentioned before that this is a parking lot that we parked at during the J.D. Vance rally. We were just parked over in a spot over there, and this parking lot is completely submerged as well. The river itself is to the left. If I was turned this way, over these trees, so through those trees is the actual river, but you can see how much of the river has actually overflown into this parking lot over here, over at that football field as well. The river continues to overflow. The water levels continue to rise. I was talking to a gentleman a little bit earlier. He said that he's been here about 29 years. The highest that he's seen the river get to is right about where I'm standing right now. But I want you to take a look, because this is something that they haven't done, he said, in his 29 years, is put sandbags up against the Dedman Center. They've been putting sandbags here for about the past hour and a half. He said that this is something, 29 years, they have never done this. And he said that the Dedman Center is the only structure on campus that they are worried about. Every other structure, they're monitoring parking lots, they're monitoring things near the river, but this is the only thing that they're worried about, especially because where we're standing at is the second floor of the Dedman Center. So if water were to get into the building, obviously that's going to trickle down into the first floor as well. So very dangerous situation here as well. I want to show you some video from what we saw a little bit earlier today, our first stop on our trip. This is a look at flooding we saw. So we want to show you some other flooding we saw out here in Radford. You're taking a look at New River Drive, which goes right along the river. That was our first stop there, and the drive, the entire road was completely submerged underneath the New River. More of that water overflowed in there. Luke said it best, the New River created a new river. While we were over there, I had some people come up to me and say, Connor, you have to go see the Dedman Center. So that's why we came over to where we're at now. We talked with a couple of students who say that they saw the weather push through, and it's very different conditions from what they saw earlier today.
Came here earlier today, and we actually stood over there on the sidewalk and was like taking pictures, and the water hadn't quite reached to the top of the sidewalk yet, and now it's completely gone.